Hello, hello. Oh, I forgot my... Gosh, all that, and I forgot to put on my microphone. Ta-da! Microphone. Just a second here. Quality. Good as it can get. So I can see your comments. Hello, everyone. We sure have some serious topics today. Yes. Hang on, putting the microphone on. My cocoa out of the way. All right. So, hello all, hello all. Well, I'm here and I am here to tell you, to read for you, to share with you whatever you need here. I was really liking this Housewives Tarot yesterday, so I might use this, but we'll see. So hello, hello. Oh, cocoa, I had some last night with whipped cream. Yeah, they do actually make vegan whipped cream. It's pretty good. It's made with almond milk. But anyway, how are you guys doing? But also, what would you like me to read on? Sienna Rose uses that tarot deck too. I love it. Yep, and we love her because she is awesome. Someone asked if we're related. No, we aren't, and we're from different countries. But she is so talented. Can I read on the 737 plane crash, the Ukrainian plane crash was it in Iraq or Iran? Plane crash, attacks last night. I woke screaming and crying and shaking. Oh my goodness, Linda. I hope you're okay. Oh, Larry girl. Hello. Couldn't find your live. Uh-oh. Did Trump seem afraid this morning? Actually, I didn't see him talk, but I saw when he came out with all those people around him, all those men around him, and I just thought, oh, that's not healthy for his ego. It's not. He does not need more people kowtowing to him and him moving to the front of a group of powerful white men. No, that's not good. He was stuffy as usual, but kind of low key. Kathy W. Hello, hello. These are Kathy W. Larry Girl, Noelle when she's here, Sue Ellen when she's here. These are our warriors. These are our troll slayers, and they keep us safe. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I think everybody else is too. I really do. Thank you. All right, so let's start with the plane crash because Boeing's going to get their. They're already having PR problems. 737 plane crash. I've got to make a list. For anyone who's new, I have to make a little list over here, or I can't put what we covered in the comments afterwards, or in the description box afterwards, because I can't remember all of it. But let's have a quick look at the 737 crash, but also Boeing, because Boeing is, it's kind of one of those too big to fail kind of companies, and I'm not saying it should be, I'm just saying it is. And in my lifetime, I have worked in a minor way in the aviation industry as a whole. Nothing important, I'm not a pilot, but I know how much it's upsetting people. And those Boeing PR commercials about, I put my family on these planes and this is important to me, and hearing about the crashes was horrible. And yeah, I believe it. I mean, it was upsetting. Doesn't mean mistakes weren't made, though. Love the troll slayers, absolutely. Well, they're going to tackle the problem. Boeing's going to tackle the problem. That doesn't feel like the plane was attacked. That feels like Boeing tackling the problem, which is kind of what I was just talking about. In the past, we took things for granted, and it's still a really safe form of transportation. It is. Economic crisis in mid-February. Okay, we'll get there. Let's see. Plane crash. Economic crash. Yeah, and then we'll get into specific things about Iran and that sort of thing. Center of the reading. I'm gonna honestly, I think this is the center of the reading. It isn't the final outcome, but there's a lot of moving parts in a plane, and lots of hydraulic systems, and lots of with backups and redundancies, which is kind of redundant to say. They're looking at where diagrams. I'm kind of looking at, in my head, I'm seeing like diagrams of systems of planes. So let me close that out. Base of the reading. It's strength and the high priestess. And high priestess here feels very much like high, as in high in the sky, as in planes. And they, we have to keep certain things, in aviation, they have to keep certain things safe. Certain, maybe not parts of aircraft specifically, but certainly there are things set up. How do I put this? There are certain communication things that commercial pilots are not allowed to tell anyone outside of any, because it has to do with safety, and there's all kind of stuff. There are secrets that keep people safe, and what do you call it when it's I have no words today. What is wrong with me? Corporate espionage. Those are the words I'm looking for. There's also corporate espionage stuff. So they keep things secret, but not that much. Vices and mistakes is what's hanging over them. Okay. Near future, I've got 3 cards. I've got these 2. And then I've got the 4 of Wands. It's, this feels like people just continuing to travel. This feels like it isn't going to be so scary or so awful that people stop flying. This is people going on vacation and visiting family and, rushing because they're late for the plane. This is good energy. I said the plane was only 3 years old last night on the news. Oh, Jules, on a plane where the one started plummeting completely out of the blue. Yeah, it could very well have, and there are all kind of things that can do that. Air pockets, cross currents in the air, all kind of interesting things. Home environment. Yeah, they're just, it's an established money-making thing. I think a lot of this is coming out mostly as Boeing, and they have military contracts, they have civilian contracts, they have international contracts, they have, hopes and fears. They're going to look very closely at if there was any mistake in the plane. They're just afraid that maybe there was something structural, or when I mean structural, I mean including bits and pieces of it that failed, or if it was something in the controls where there was a glitch or a problem. What other people see? Well, what I'm getting from this card is people are on edge, but they're still flying. They're still going on vacation. They're still willing to say, all right, I'm going to do this anyway. So aviation industry isn't going to get completely decimated by all of this, which is good, because that's good for, because that means because the FAA is keeps a really good eye on things and safety, and the testing things, and even little parts on an airplane, like a little screw or a little something. It's all expensive. It's more expensive than something you can buy down at the hardware store, because it's been tested and retested, and they have to meet very specific strength standards. And a final outcome, they're going to, whatever the problem is with Boeing and the aircraft, they're going to fix it. They are. And they're not trying to hide and say, nothing's happening. They're willing to let even their own people be critical, and they are listening to people who point out mistakes. So they're being a lot more reasonable than a lot of these big kind of companies. Now the question is, with this plane that went down last night, let me put these aside. Was it just Boeing's a design flaw? Something software upgraded wrongly? Were they actively attacked? So the plane, oh gosh, it's so sad. Gosh, I hate reading on stuff like this. And my heart just goes out. And bless all of the families. Bless all of the people we lost, and bless all of their friends and family. Okay, so what happened on that plane specifically? I'm actually not going to read on these two cards. That's what happened. What we're looking at is, how did it happen? That's saying mechanical error to me, but let me pull a few more cards, because that was it mechanical error, or was it a missile or something like that? Was it mechanical? Was it a missile? All right, I got a hanged man there. I'm not getting like a missile or something like that. It was either something mechanical, or it was like some kind of, in Ukraine it could have been sabotage, maybe. I wouldn't put anything past Russia at this point. What about... was it Russia? Was Russia involved? Tell us, tell us. I'm getting... Russia is really nasty, which isn't like a stretch. But they weren't involved in this. They've got other really horrible poisonings and attacks. But this one, they sat this one out. That's what that feels like. I mean, I guess we'll find out, but that's what I'm getting. I'm not saying Boeing's perfect. Someone said, I just saw very quickly, someone said something about, someone saying Boeing was laying off and people and hiring less experienced workers to save money. You know, it's still a business. It's still beholden to shareholders, which is a shame. So, I feel so bad for the families. I feel so bad for the families. I'm going to shuffle these cards on my lap. It's heartbreaking. But anyway, moving on. All right, are we going to look at if there's going to be any kind of economic crash, or are we going to look at something to do with Iran next? Trump, Saudi Arabia secret meeting. Linda's saying, I'm not trying to alarm anybody. I'm going to say exactly what I feel. Well, absolutely. Please do. I have, no one, made me perfect. Nobody gives me all the answers. I'm reading on the collective energy just like everyone can. And that's why I go for, it's the reason I started the channel, was I thought, well, let me just add my voice to the, and we'll get kind of wisdom of the crowds. And because it's usually, it isn't one reader who has all the answers. I just myself watch certain readers that I've seen have a good track record, or they resonate with me. And I kind of say, all right, if one person says this, but everyone else is saying something else, well, the something else is probably what's going to happen. But you get outliers. So I'm not doing this live stream because, I have come down from on high. So, any more than, because technically we've all come down from on high, but I'm not special. Renee saying Trump has been relatively quiet on Twitter since the missile attack last night, and he's realizing what a freaking bonehead move he made. Yep. Okay. Linda G. and Milu said he spent the majority of yesterday walking around screaming into the phone? Thank you, Linda. If that is aimed at me, Pamela, I appreciate it. Hello, Michelle. All right. Well, since let's just move on then. Let's have a quick look at the economic. Is there gonna be a economic drop in February, or later in January, February, maybe March? Let's just say soon. Because it is conjunction week, and the big conjunction is Sunday at High noon in Washington, D.C. Weirdest coincidence. It is literally at high noon. Weird. But then in middle of February, there's going to be another conjunction. Hopefully not as bad, but let's look at the economic. Let's look at the economic, economic situation. Economic situation. Oh, card went flying out. I don't know what to feel about that. It's just take care of your family. I don't know. I'm getting a silly thing in my head, which is not so silly, but it is. It's silly about, make sure grandma's okay. That's what I was getting from that. It's like, okay, why did you just fly out there? Unfortunately, neither of my grandmothers are with us. But let me tell you, my mother's, bless both of my grandmothers, but my mother's mom, you would have loved her. She was born on the 4th of July. She was a sweetheart. Okay, economic situation. Well, let's just say that the stock market party is a little long in the tooth. It's been going on. It's been wild for quite some time now. And, for not really a whole lot of good reasons. It just feels a lot like it's been manipulated, but that's not my psychic sense. That's just, to me, that's just common sense. But what do I know? All right, in the past, why not? Let's just do this. Let's get rid of regulations. Let's just run wild. This is I've got 2 cards here so far of let's just run wild. It actually recovered under Obama, and then under Trump, it's just woohoo. Center of the reading. It just might be about time for the smackdown. Just a metaphor. It's not real. No behinds will be harmed in the falling of the stock market. Literally, like with a wooden spoon. Base of the reading. They've been getting creative, they've been keeping interest rates low and doing some creative accounting to make the economy look good, make the jobs reports look good, and hide how bad inflation is, which is an ongoing thing. And it's one of those, I think everybody has a topic where it's like, don't get me started, because I'll complain a lot more than I even want to. And when it comes to inflation, that's mine. Above the reading, it's been helping Trump. It's been helping the Republicans. Look how great everything is for people who already have money. Or for people who work for companies where they get 401ks and things like that. Near future. Time to harvest is what that feels like. It's time to, it's like culmination, the 10 here. It's time to take your winnings and go home. Home environment. Well, what's going to happen to Trump is going to hurt the market. Hopes and fears. Well, things aren't going to get that bad, but that's the fear. The fear. yeah, it's going to be so bad we're all going to end up in menial jobs. It's like, no, no, but that's just a fear. What other people see, death by 1,000 cuts, exhaustion by 3 different jobs. Yeah, it's a lot. This has very much been on the backs of these people. Final outcome. Well, decisions and movements, but plans. I mean, Five of Swords in this deck is about making plans. Setting your I joke in this that this deck, the Five of Swords, it has to do with a vision board, but these are not. It can also be back in the day, people used to, a lot of women made their own clothes and made clothes for their family. So in that respect, their decisions, and there may need to be some cutting back. But, I'm not getting the, Five of Pentacles, which is the card of poverty. So I'm getting there might be a downturn, but I mean we're already doing a lot of work. People have multiple jobs. Let me see if I can get any more information on the coming economic situation. Any more information on the current economic situation? As much as, and think about it, I mean, if Trump, something came out about Trump and he was removed from office, if his finances finally came out and he was removed from office, then the stock market probably would fall in the short term, but there would also be a lot less potential chaos, which the stock market would ultimately like. So, meh. Any more information here? It looks nice. It looks like a party. But this doesn't feel like there is some downturn and some reining in. But this feels more like just portioning things out rather than going hog wild. So there's a rein in, but I'm just not getting, the Tower and Five of Pentacles, and no, it's always a good idea to do everything you can to put even just a little bit of money in your savings, literally pennies if that's all you can manage, but because over time, just to have a little cushion because the economy, it does this. That's normal. And that's just how that's just how it works. You have to just be kind of expect it. But I'm not seeing catastrophe. So that's good. Do not buy into the fear, everyone. Send out love and white light to the world. Larry Girl, as if you couldn't be greater. That is Kathy W. Larry Girl. We are a team. You guys are so great. You guys are so great. Oh, we need a Troll Slayer emoticon. There is. Sue Ellen started using it. It's crossed swords. I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so. Alrighty, so next, let's read on something. Okay, here we go. Will Iran sabotage Trump's campaign with hacking? Larry Girl, exactly. That is the troll slaying emoji. Autumn, do you have a favorite writing pen? I'm always looking for a great brand. Anything, well, I've been using gel a lot. This is a Papermate Inkjoy gel. It's pretty good. It doesn't dry, it dries well, but it doesn't dry instantly. So other than that, it's fantastic. It's easy to write with, but I don't know that that's relevant, but there we go. Anything I can do to help, I want to help. Let's read on Boo Boo Kitty. Okay, let's pull three cards on Boo Boo Kitty. Boo Boo Zen Kitty, who's up here snoozing. Let's pull 3 cards on him just because we want some nice, in the middle of all of these readings on death and destruction and Trump and Iran and war, and let's put three cards down for Boo Boo Zen Kitty. Yes, you up there. Boo Boo Zen Kitty. Boo Boo Zen Kitty. I'm sorry, I find this so funny because it's from his perspective. Well, which treats shall I have, this one or that one? And I show up and would you like it? Would you like out? Would you like to be scratched? Would you like this? I'm always, taking care of him. Are you warm? He comes sit on my lap, and then, he feels put upon. What do you mean I can't do whatever that is? What do you mean I can't? And in his little world, he's being, held down. Although that might also be he and his brother. He and his brother, sometimes they argue. So that could be that too. But anyway, all right, let's go back to the ickiness. He wants outside more. Yep. Okie dokie. Boo Boo Zen Kitty. Now, how exactly should we put this about Trump? I feel like we need to read on impeachment more than the Iran situation. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that you guys would agree with me, but that's what it feels like. I'm being repressed. Exactly. That's how Boo Boo Kitty feels sometimes. Yeah, I feel like we need to read on the Senate impeachment trial more than Iran. So let's do that. Okay. Let's just read on it in general. If will there be more articles of impeachment? I specifically feel like we need to read on McConnell. Ugh. Yuck. He is such a smug toad. He really is. He came out the other day and said that the Republicans have enough votes without Democrats to vote on how the impeachment should go forward. And Nancy Pelosi basically said, "Oh, that's nice. Good for you." Because she hasn't sent them over yet, and yeah. She didn't say it like that. She didn't, but yeah, it was, a Southern, bless his heart, kind of. Ugh, McConnell, impeachment, ickiness. McConnell and impeachment. All right. Devil's in the details. And this is very much detailed, icky work. Thanks for that. Thank you, Tarot, for that mental image. In the past, there was a lot more transparency. McConnell's talking about going forward and, oh, it's going to be just like the thing with Clinton. But there was a grand jury with the Clinton impeachment beforehand. There was the grand jury, there was the special counsel, there was all of this stuff. And there isn't this time. Yeah, they had the president being deposed on camera. And McConnell saying, oh, we're going to go ahead with, the same way they did before from this point on. But there used to be more transparency. Surprise. Okay, center of the reading. He is showing how weak, he doesn't mean to, but he's showing how weak their argument is. By rushing it, by essentially abusing his power. And that's what that feels like. Base of the reading is, we are the Republicans, and we can do whatever we want. That's what that feels like, and that's the base of it. We have control in the Senate. We are 95%, 90% white men, and we're going to do whatever we want. But hanging above them, oh, that's minor arcana. That's not major arcana. That's major arcana. That's the Empress. That's America. That's the Wheel of Fortune, which is what goes around comes around, but also times up. And this Empress not only refers to America, but it can also refer to the rise of the power of women in this country. And with the rise of the power of women, you get more power to Democrats. But this is what's hanging over him. And it's like, oh, you're feeling smug and full of yourself? Well, hubris. Meet Nemesis, who is called as soon as someone shows hubris, which means they think they're above the gods. They think they are better than the gods. Hubris automatically calls Nemesis to put them in their place. All right. Near future. He's just going to keep that Trump tub of lard party going in the Senate best he can. Bring out the dancing girls. You can always pay them off later to be quiet, so you can keep so you can win an election. Not that that's illegal or anything. Home environment. It's hurting. It's hurting the Senate. It's hurting the Republicans. It's hurting the country. But no, this is hurting McConnell and the Republicans. And he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He does not see the damage because he's that full of himself. And we know Trump's that full of himself. With Trump, this is Trump's corruption, but he doesn't even use the Ace of Swords. He's too much of a coward. He has somebody else do the dirty work for him. He won't even fire people himself because it's hard. All right, so home environments, McConnell's hurting. Hopes and fears. The hope and fear is revolving around is there going to be enough cleaned away to see what's really going on? And the expression that came to mind was come out in the wash. But it doesn't necessarily mean everything's going to be clean or Trump's. some things coming out in the wash the expression itself could mean Trump getting away with whatever he's done, but this feels more fear that there's going to be a proper cleaning away of gunk to see what's really there, to see what Trump really did. What other people see, well, we know. I saw there's a sticker you can buy, some kind of adhesive stickery thing that you can buy. I saw it on the internet. Someone had taken the full card and they made it Trump. And it was like, yeah, quite often this is how he's coming up. So, final outcome. It's a gift for the Democrats. They don't see it yet. It doesn't feel like that, but it turns out to be a gift for the Democrats, because the Knight of Pentacles here thinks he's going to go ahead and he's going to do his thing the way he normally does, and he's going to feel, walk along feeling superior. That you notice the tuxedo suit while mowing the lawn, that kind of hard work is superior and only Republicans work, kind of that sort of garbage argument. But it's helping the Democrats, especially with suburban women. And it's a gift. It's even this is Six of Pentacles. This is the power of the Republicans, and it being taken away. It's a gift to the Democrats. This garbage he's pulling. Now, will there be witnesses? Let's have a look at that. Will there be witnesses? Will Bolton? I don't trust Bolton. I do not trust Bolton at all. And I don't know that he's necessarily going to come forward. Just the fact that he said he wants to testify doesn't mean that he really wants to, but it would be really hard. He's enough old school Republican that he doesn't want to come out with a book about this topic without, having been while refusing to say anything in Congress. So he's still old school enough to have some sense of just how awful that would be, but it doesn't mean he wants to. As a matter of fact, he doesn't want to, because you notice he said, if I'm subpoenaed, not, oh yes, I want to come in and talk. No, you have to subpoena me. So, are there going to be, they're going to give, we know that eventually if they have a trial in the Senate, there are going to be arguments for and against, going forward, give their opening arguments, that sort of thing. And then they decide, are there going to be witnesses, documents, how much, how many. Oh, 2 at the center. Okay, cards are literally like jumping out, and it feels like the Republic, like McConnell will not want anything to come out, but things will be leaked if they don't come out officially. That could be interesting. It doesn't, just because they can't have witnesses or documents in the trial doesn't mean it's not going to be talked about. Well, we already know, but also new things we didn't know. Center of the reading. But the Republicans are going to stick together. They are. They are. In the past, McConnell had more power. They all had more power because the Republicans had the presidency in both chambers of commerce. And Bolton himself went back into the White House. And, it was a Republican party. I also get the feeling there have been some really nasty parties, too. It's like, ew, yuck. Let me know what house that was in so I never go into that house ever again, or ever in the first place. Center of the reading, I got 2 cards. Yeah, the full of themselves card and the party hardy card. That's, we have the power, we do what we want. Yeah. Base of the reading, and we're going to do what we want, no matter who it hurts. And even with all this, we know there's all this stuff out there against Trump, but we're going to, it feels like, whitewash it. Just, oh no, everything's fine. That's what that feels like. We'll set it up so this is, well, just, it's fine, it's fine. Even though this is still very visible. That's at the base. Above this, a lot of pointy objects above it. A lot of decisions, a lot of pointy objects. A lot of swords hanging above people's heads. Yeah, but I have a feeling we don't know entirely we know what some of these are, but not all of them. But it's above this, and that's just McConnell and the Republicans. What? Huh? Who? It's like, yeah, this is hanging over you. But, it's kind of like that meme of Judy Garland singing, I don't care. Yeah, like that. Near future. Ooh, backstabbing. Backstabbing and the Empress. America's not going to be happy. But this actually feels like McConnell playing some hardball with some of his Republican senators to, publicly saying, oh yes, well, certain ones I want to make sure that the moderates keep their seats. But no, he's behind the scenes. He's playing hardball. And I'm not saying Pelosi never plays hardball. We know better. But this is pretty nasty stuff. But America's watching, and what they bring forward, America's going to see. This isn't as hidden as normal. Home environment. Oh, this card keeps coming up. Home environment. Devil in the details. Came up for the reading, the last one. Just have to cross your T's and dot your I's, and you can use the Senate, the way they do things in their rules, and you can finagle that. But it's a lot of nitpicky work, hopes and fears. It's the hope of who's got the stronger argument, and also, again, scrubbing. The fear that there'll be enough clearing the way that things will be visible and come out. That's what it feels like. What we see. Oh yeah, that's McConnell. Rules? You think those are the rules, but here it's a twist, attach, ta-da! And that's what they are now. Yep. I was almost expecting that to show up here, because that's McConnell. Just, and you'll notice the one thing about this, it's yeah, we got it all to fit together, but all everything there has become completely useless. You can't use any of that. But it gets what he wants, not what's good for the people. Final outcome. These are those are not happy Democrats. And then those are not happy people in the country. But this King of Cups, yeah, he feels very disappointed, and the secrets stay secret. And it causes a big upwelling of emotion, which is going to come back to bite the Republicans, but in the short term, it hurts. It hurts. And it's, again, we go back to that feeling of, is Trump ever going to be held accountable for all of these things he's done, and the emoluments clause and all of this, you know, I mean, he was breaking the emoluments clause on day one. And he hasn't really faced consequences for anything ever. But there was, at least in the House, there was some semblance, and it's taken a lot of the pressure off, like a pressure valve, like on a pressure cooker, the valve. It's helped, but will there be witnesses? Okay, well, be witnesses and documents. All right, let me just finish this, and then I will look at your comments. I am so grateful you guys are here. Thank you for being here. Okay, what shall I read on next? It's only 10:02. I still have at least 10 minutes here, and then I have to go. What does it actually mean to her? LD, hold him. What does it actually mean to hold him accountable? No, if up to me, he'd be in jail. I'm with Pelosi on that, but... All right, you are most welcome. Anything I can do to help? Are there... What else can I read on here, guys? What would make you feel better? What would help you sleep better tonight? Hold him accountable. Lindsey Graham. Okay. If documents don't come out in the Senate trial, is there any other forum they can be presented in? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Don't forget SDNY. And knowing his taxes were made public. Yeah, there's all kind of gunk that not only can come out, but is going to come out. Mercury is not retrograde yet, but... Yeah, there's, Jean just lost, she said she lost her internet and phone and went into a panic. Is Mercury retrograde? No, but there's a massive conjunction on Sunday, and it's going to, all kind of things can get discombobulated. So, Lindsey, I do declare. Actually, usually I like accents, but yeah, he's just... Last time I read on him, it just said very loudly, very clearly that all of his life, he finds out who the alpha is, and he just latches on and becomes blindly subservient and protective of the alpha, and that's how he's gotten through life. And now he does it on the world stage, and, you know, and... Whoever's the alpha, that's who he's going to support and protect and lie and, you know, what he originally said about Trump is what he really thought. But now, well, let bygones be bygones. You have power? Oh, let me support you forever. Let's see here. Lindsey. Okie dokie. Oh, good question. I didn't see the good question. Sorry. He's a follower. What would he be like if McCain was still alive? He'd be like he was. Okay, Lindsey, it's feeling like it's starting to the energy's starting to kind of break down in the middle. The strategy he has used for a long time has worked, but it's not foolproof. It can't work all the time, and it can't work forever. And he's going to learn that. And it feels like I should lay these out very carefully, because that's what Lindsey's going to have to learn to do, instead of just bulldozing his way through and lying through his teeth to support whoever the alpha is. Things are starting to get away from him, and there's a part of him that recognizes that and is worried, scared actually, but he's still going to just plow ahead because he's been scared before, and this strategy worked for him. Prince Harry, breaking news. I just looked at this to make sure the card was clear. It said breaking news: Prince Harry and Meghan Markle to step down as royals, official royals to become financially independent. That could be interesting. Anyway, Lindsey. Illusion. This is the illusion delusion card. Which lie should I tell today? Which alpha should I back? It's not going to be good for me. I'm going to have a hangover tomorrow. I'm going to look stupid being, acting drunk. But it's what we've always done. Let's do it again today. And let's hope that the nastiness doesn't catch up with me. It hasn't yet. In the past, yeah, he was just one of the smug guys. Still is. Center the reading. He's feeling a lot more. He's dealing with a lot more emotion than we realize, and he's still mourning McCain. I'll give him credit for that. I don't. These guys are so awful, and I don't like to give them credit, but I'll give him credit because I can feel real grief at losing his friend. That's still in there. Unfortunately, it's not strong enough to guide his current actions. Base of the reading. Oh goodness, I shuffled, and I'm getting this again. Yeah. This is trying to put up a front for, because this feels like Trump, the man usually lying on the ground with all the swords in his back, and then saying, see, it's fine, this is how you make a cake, this is how it's done. It's like, well, that's not a cake. No, this is how you make a cake, and that's what matters. That's the foundation of his power. Hanging above him, lying and backstabbing. Lying and backstabbing, lying and backstabbing, lying and backstabbing. That's what it was. The word's just repeating over and over, lying and backstabbing. Near future, he's going to be part of the Senate, McConnell, twisting everything. Twisting all the details, twisting how things are done. Really getting down into this object to make things turn out the way they want. And he is right in the middle of it. Home environment. Oh, because isn't he the star? Hopes and fears. It's a burden. It's a burden protecting Trump. It's hard. And things get confused, and you think you've almost started getting things straight, but then you look up and he's told a completely different story, and you're like, huh? What we see. Yeah, Lindsey. You got some growing to do. Seriously. You've got some serious maturing to do. Some emotional intelligence to learn. Some consequences. He's got a lot to learn. Final outcome for Lindsey. His vices, these decisions he's made are going to come back and bite him. And because this feels like what he thinks he's going for. This, I'm a Republican, I have this great name, I have this great reputation, and this is, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing and this is where I'll get. But the reality is he's moving through this. He thinks he's going to get there, but you can't do this with that, even with a dishwasher, and end up with, everything smelling, being perfectly sanitized and clean and perfect. He thinks he will, but he's down in this muck, this absolute muck. Let me see if there's anything else about this final outcome, any qualifiers. Will he manage to come through it smelling clean? It doesn't feel like those dishes are clean. I wouldn't trust them. I wouldn't trust those dishes. This isn't even, it feels like this isn't even a modern dishwasher. This is a dishwasher from, the 1950s. And, I wouldn't trust it. Lindsey. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. Everybody has their limited time on this earth, on the stage, before it's good night, goodbye, and good night. It feels like I don't know who's running against him for his seat, but there's a point at which someone running for his seat is going to clean his clock. And they're going to be able to clean his clock because he gave up so much Republican power with all these boneheaded arguments and lies. And there just comes a point where it's goodbye and good night. So that's what I'm getting for Lindsey. Gosh, these guys are so... I mean, seriously, it's like we have a card for the day, and the card for the day is smug Caucasian male Republicans. And there we go. And McConnell. Like, those are the cards for today. Oh, right. Okay, and I'm getting icky, creepy crawlies in the top of my head. Yeah, these guys, their energy is awful. It's a shame. I think there will come a point where we really can see or sense more openly people's energy as we collectively, as our vibration level rises, which it's been doing over time. And some of these people now, it's going to be like, ooh, how on earth did anyone trust them? But it hasn't happened yet. Let's see here. Smug Repugs. Lynn, that is genius. Smug Repugs. I'm going to write that down. Smug Repugs. Lindsey Graham. All right. So I can do one more quick reading. What is Barr up to? Oh, Barr is so awful. I don't know that he's really up to. Noelle, I do care about what you're asking, but let me pull 3 cards on Barr, because I get the feeling that there isn't much to read on there right now. It's just more of the same. But let me see. I could be wrong. Let me see. Barr. He's staying quiet. He's working behind the scenes. He's got he's got the crazed look in his eyes to do things he shouldn't be doing as Attorney General and metaphorically cut people's heads off for just being there and trying to do their jobs. It's more of the same right now. Things are going to come up into the open in the future, but right now it's more of the same. So, did you guys want me to? I don't usually read on the royals, but do you guys want me to read on that Harry and Meghan Markle becoming financially independent and stepping down as royals, or do you want me to read more on the impeachment stuff, or Pelosi, or Autumn? Does the world contain enough sage to clear the White House after the Trump regime leaves? Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. Wasn't it under Eisenhower they literally gutted the building? There are pictures of like bulldozers. They like kept the facade on the outside, but literally you went inside and they were like bulldozers, and there was no interior. I think that might be necessary again. Okay, let's see. All right, so Harry and Meghan? Royals? Okay, looks like people are asking for the royals. All right, Harry and Meghan. I don't usually read on them. I have it's probably I know it's my own bias comes out, and I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. So let me I'm just mentioning that I have bias. I'm just not going to go there. I'll just keep that to myself. We'll see what the cards say. We'll see what the cards say. Kind of like what I think about some of the presidential candidates on the Democratic side. Oh, I'm not going to say anything. Not a word. Oh, not a word. I love hearing your opinions, but there's some things I just feel like I shouldn't go there. But I'm going to vote. Everybody should vote. All right. Harry and Meghan. Harry and Meghan. That is literally the Queen. That's Liz. That's Queen Elizabeth being like, "That's nice, dear." I think it's not. I'm trying to get this into focus. I'm going to guess it doesn't make as much of a deal. It isn't as much of a big deal. It's a big deal, but it's not as much of a big deal as if William was doing it. But yeah, after everything the Queen has been through, this is kind of a, that's nice, dear. In the past, they contorted themselves to fit in with royal decorum protocol. Bow here, stand there, wear this, don't wear that. You know, it's really living in it's very constrictive, the center of it. But they've also, this is the center of the reading, but also they've had the generosity that comes along with being in the Royal House of Windsor, where they've had the best schooling. They've never had to worry about rent. They've never had to worry about the kind of things that commoners have to worry about. Base of the reading. It's a decision to live a simpler life. Even having to be financially independent, it's a decision to try to not be in the spotlight so much. Well, this is Meghan we're talking about. So they're always going to be in the spotlight. But, oh, Noel has to run. Mummy duty. All right. Good. Thank you so much, Noel. Thank you. This is a choice. So it's to have a less visible life, a less constrictive life. Above. Will they finally have witnesses at impeachment? Beryl, I read on that a little while ago, and it was basically Democrats, what should be there, what Democrats are feeling, it's not gonna, Democrats are gonna be really disappointed. That's what I was getting. Above the reading, they both have a history of not following all of these kinds of rules. It's really not in their, it's against both of their natures to be this constricted. So, near future, the idea of them being financially independent is actually going to work. It's going to help the royal image. And this is because this is change. This is movement. This is a different direction. And it almost feels like them being showered with gifts for making this change. I don't know what that is. I don't know why people, I mean, I guess, it's possible. Who knows? Maybe it's possible they can actually live on just what people give them. Who knows? Okay. Thank you, Larry girl. You're so awesome. Home environment. Yeah, they're rebels. They're rebels. They are. Fair enough. Hopes and fears. They're sick of being judged. Every little thing. And they don't want their child to just every minute of every single day. I know someone, because of my age, I knew, I don't know how much of myself to give away here, but I knew someone who went to the same school, who they were at Eton at the same time. Also, here's a fun little piece of trivia for you. Tom Hiddleston, the actor who plays Loki in the Marvel movies, he was in the year right above William, I believe. And he went through the same thing, starting at the Dragon School, Eton, Cambridge, no, Oxford. I can't believe I don't remember. I don't remember. One of them, one or the two. But that whole protocol thing, they grew up with that. And when William was at school, he was William Windsor. That was his name. And there was always security around. And there were some boys who specifically hated William just because he got so much attention, just because he was given so much. And, it's wherever they go, yes, there are people who like them, but they're being judged, every little thing, everything they do. It can get really old. What other people see? Well, they're going into... Meghan and Harry are going in a new direction, and they're kind of throwing a wrench in the works of how the royal thing is done, and it could get smelly. It could get a little... there's no guarantee. It looks like, so far at least, near future, it's going to work out well for them, and it suits them very well. From the outside, it's a new direction, so we don't know how this is going to turn out. All right, final outcome. They're going to raise their kid. That is absolutely what, I'm not saying they're going to spank their son, but I'm saying that they're going to raise their kid. They want their kid to have as normal a life as possible. and they're going to do all the normal, as many of the normal things that they can. But they're never going to hurt for money. I can tell you that. So I think it suits them. I think it suits their natures, and I think that they're going to have success at it, and by changing direction. And I think their son and or children, other children, are going to have a better life by trying to be slightly less in the public eye all the time. And that's what I'm getting for Harry and Meghan. I wish them well. I always wish them well. Okay. Let's see. Kate will likely be envious. Well, Kate is going to be queen. And she's on a different path. It's one thing for someone to come for me, but it's a different thing if they come for my child. Heaven help them. Yes, the most dangerous beings on the earth are the mamas. Mama bears, mama humans. If you attack their children, yeah. All right, and is that, did Autumn read on Bolton? Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know that I specifically. Let me throw 3 cards on Bolton specifically. I do not trust him as far as you could throw him as far as what side he's on. I'm not saying he's a liar. I'm saying that he is no friend of Democrats. I can feel that energy very clearly. I mean, he makes Barr look like a, free spirit. Again, the details, and it feels like it's holding back details, is what that feels like. Well, Bolton, testify. He's got the goods. He will if subpoenaed. That does not help me, cards. He saw what really happened. He has goods. If he's subpoenaed, that doesn't help me. Will he be subpoenaed? Will he be subpoenaed? That just reinforces what he's already saying. Will he be subpoenaed? Not now. Not by the Senate. Is what that feels like. The Senate's going to hardly send out anything. And they're going to keep the delusion going. But there's a point at which the American people are going to demand that information come out. And it feels like it's later. Yep. So that is what I am getting for that. But yeah, Bolton is no friend of Democrats. Do not expect him to be, potentially saving us, because that's not going to happen. All right, I am quite tired, but I wanted to make sure I answered as many of your questions as I could. Oh goody, the toilet and the toothbrushes. Yeah, again, I've been getting that card the whole reading. All right. Well, Autumn, you are the bee's knees. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the reading. Well, thank you for being here. I am so grateful, and I hope that you guys have just the best day, because you have the best energy, and good things should happen to good people. I don't know why this isn't focusing. Focus. But thank you, everybody, and I will be back tomorrow. Same pumpkin time, same pumpkin channel. And we will get through to the big day on Sunday. I'm here every day this week at noon. And maybe beyond. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you to our troll slayers. Thank you to our warriors who are keeping us safe. Kathy W., Larry Girl, Noelle, and Sue Ellen. When anyone who they show, you guys are so great, and thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Hang in there, okay? Bye-bye.